Hey friends, what a beautiful day. I'm actually coming to you from Chabad, from the tent. We got very lucky. It's 75 degrees now, and Gurney has a Unity challah bake with about 100 ladies tonight at the tent outside with fresh sushi and l'chaims, wine. Look how everything is set up over here. It's going to be a beautiful evening. But while we're here, I wanted to tell you a Dvar Torah. So this week's Torah portion, we read a lot about laughter. We read about the angels coming to visit Abraham and telling Abraham that he will have a child. And Sarah laughing. And Sarah saying, we're old. And Abraham laughs. And then they have a child. They name their child Yitzchak. The first child to be born Jewish is named Laughter. And of course later, Lot's son-in-laws, when he tells them to leave, we hear about laughter again. They laugh at him. And last but not least, with Ishmael, we hear about laughter. What's the fixation on laughter? What is laughter telling us here? And the Alter Rebbe, the first Chabad Rebbe, the Baal HaTanya, says something very moving. He says, what's laughter? Laughter, when do you laugh? You laugh when something's different, when humans talk. Do you laugh? Are you amazed? No. But when a parrot talks, when a bird talks, then you start laughing. You're amazed. When do you laugh at a joke? When you hear a good joke that's unpredictable, not what you're expecting. Laughter is a sense of things that are unpredictable make us laugh. And that's what laughter represents on a spiritual level. Says the Alter Rebbe, that humans, we like predictability. We like knowing what's going to happen today and tomorrow and the day after, every moment. In fact, Americans like having their whole life planned out. Their kids' college funds, their grandchildren's gifts, where they're going to retire, where their retirement home's going to be. We like only predictable things. We don't like anything that's unpredictable. But you know what? Life is actually unpredictable. And when you have faith in God, you roll with the punches, with the unpredictability. How have the Jews survived thousands of years of struggles, of challenges, of crusades, of Romans, of Greeks, of exile after exile? Because we laughed. Because the first Jew is called Yitzchak, laughter. Because we learn to live with the unpredictable, because we recognize that at the end of the day, God is the one that gives us all we need. But how are you able to live with unpredictability and uncertainty in your lives? How can we do that? And the answer, of course, is in the name of the portion. What's the name of this week's portion? The name of this week's Torah portion is Vayera, and God revealed himself to you. The more you bring God into your life, the more godliness and spirituality and holiness you have in life, the more we're able to live with the unpredictability of life and able to roll with the punches and recognize that everything comes from God and everything is there to inspire us to be better people. You know, you think about the last 18 months. Who would have thought we would be where we are? 18 months later, we're still wearing masks. We're still outdoors. Look, our challah bake is outdoors, not indoors. We're still worried about the next strain and the next strain. We don't know what tomorrow brings. But when you have Vayera, when you have godliness, and you have faith, then you learn how to laugh. Every time something unpredictable happens in your life, you laugh. Yitzchak, the first Jew, because you recognize that it's from God and it's there to send you a message. It's there to inspire you. You know, last week in Australia, a remarkable Jew passed away. His name was Ed Jaku. His original name was actually Abraham Jacobowitz, Abraham the first Jew. And he was 101 when he passed away. At 100 last year, he became one of the oldest authors to ever publish a book. He published a book, The World's Happiest Man. Let me tell you something about this man. He was born in 1920 in Leipzig, Germany. Until the Nazis took power, everything was fine. But then he had to change his name, and his parents sent him to engineering school, where he excelled and graduated with high numbers. Then, in 1938 November, he came to surprise his parents for their anniversary. And when he came, of course, it was Kristallnacht. His parents weren't home. And the Nazis came, the Gestapo came into his house, his parents' home. The only thing there was Lulu, his family dog that tried to protect him. The Nazis killed the dog, shot the dog in front of his eyes, and then ransacked and destroyed a home of 200 years of history. He made it away by the skin of his teeth. He said at that moment he lost his faith, he lost his hope, he lost everything. He ran away, he escaped to Belgium, where he was held as a prisoner for 11 months, as a German prisoner. Then he ended up in Paris, where he hid and was sent on a train to Auschwitz. And right before he was sent on the train to Auschwitz, he got a screwdriver and a plier, and he asked the conductor how much time till we're in Germany. And he said 11 hours. He knew he had 11 hours to get out of this train. And he started slowly unscrewing the bottom panels of the train. And right before, in Strasbourg, right before they crossed to Germany, he managed to slip out slowly from the bottom of the train with 8 prisoners. And he escaped going from Auschwitz. But eventually he did go to Auschwitz, where he lost his parents. He escaped twice again and was saved by Americans in 1948. It's a fascinating, remarkable story. But he said when he came out, he snuck into Belgium without papers. He met the love of his life, who he married. And he said he wasn't a happy man. But then God blessed him with his first child. And he said everything changed. And he recognized that just being able to live and just being able to celebrate was the greatest miracle he had. And that he was the happiest man in the world. And he promised himself to be happy every day and to celebrate life and to teach people what happiness is. He says today the youth, they're always looking to tomorrow. They don't know what to appreciate today. The happiness of life, of health, of family. This man, this remarkable person, wrote a book at his 100th birthday, someone who survived Auschwitz, and he called himself man's happiest, the world's happiest man, because he recognized that when you have Yitzchak, when you have laughter, when you have the hope and the faith in the Almighty, you're able to overcome the obstacles and the unpredictability of life. And may Hashem bless us to learn with him, from Ed, who passed away this week. He says in one of his talks, he spoke at TED Talk in front of 6,000 people, and everyone got up to cheer him. He said, what I would do to be able to hug my mother again. But he said, I realized everything is about giving. He says, don't walk in front of me, I may not follow. Don't walk behind me, I may not lead. Just walk beside me. And together, let's be happy. Let's be Yitzchak. Let's enjoy the gifts of life that we've had and never take them for granted. And everyone stood up and clapped. 6,000 people. Yehi Zichro Baruch, may Eddie Jaku, may his soul be a memory and inspiration to all of us to remember from this week's Torah portion and from this week, first Jew who's born Isaac, to always laugh and celebrate and love. God bless you. See you, many of the ladies tonight. I will be here for a bit. God bless you.